Gearx, the French Craig. Joe told me about him. They say life will kill you. That's why I'm drinking Coke Zero and white rum.
There we go.
Okay. Thor Jensen, everybody. Thor Jensen.
Ta-da!
Well, I guess since we're recording, I should intro us, huh?
Why?
Well, let me tell you something, Skippy Granola. Oh God, it's Gold Snow Industries, Dragon Quest 7. This is how I've been coping with my brother's death from cancer. Give money to Memorial Sloan Kettering, can't just give it to them, and I'll do something stupid. So anyway, we're at the 7th game, and as always, Skippy Granola helping me out get through this. Yep. I dare say we're way further than either of us thought I would get.
Well, look, man, I'll be honest. Nobody can approach you for just sheer ornery cussedness.
So. I appreciate that. And speaking of my sheer ornery cussedness, old friend and also wedding guest, specifically though, he was not my good luck Canadian. He was a groomsman, Thor Jensen.
That's me. I'm a terrible luck American.
But you did give me a brick of dollar bills, which is so useful.
Nobody ever turns their nose up at a lot of dollar bills.
There's so many uses for them, as you said. So speaking of turning your noses up, I'm gonna put a little link for you boys in the chat room. Okay, go ahead and click on that. So as you guys know, and some people might know, because I complain about it a lot, I used to be a teacher. I taught high school math, and don't teach. Just don't. And especially don't teach math. And even more so, don't teach math in high school. It's a bad idea. What we're going to do today is together figure out what is Dragon Quest VII. This is our goal. And
hold the fucking phone here.
Yeah?
You son of a bitch. Are you trying to educate me?
I'm trying to educate the people.
God, fuck that.
Never trust a teacher when he tells you that we're going to answer a question together.
No lie detected.
I've been told that contractually I have to be through this, so.
I mean, you did always say you would be here for at least the first and the last of any of these games, and wouldn't you know it, this is the first and the last for 7, so you set yourself up.
God damn it, I played myself.
You did. So I guess before we jump in, what do we know about Dragon Quest?
It has
I told you I'm doing it as a teacher. I'm breaking out that pedagogy. What do we know? Let's take let's feel the room out. An informal assessment, as it were. What do you know about Dragon Quest, boys?
It's a vehicle for Hori Yuji's weird old man fetishes.
Okay, good. I like that. Thor,
and
what do you know?
Akira Toriyama's absolutely magical and totally non-threatening monster designs.
Love it. Absolutely,
Everyone's
that's good.
Cross-eyed. Why is everyone cross-eyed?
I mean, we gotta have representation. People have
it's
that
like,
vision.
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just hanging out.
The humble turnip farmer with some overalls. I live in Hay. The H is silent.
Fuck.
It's okay, because guess what? We don't really need to know much about what we have done in Dragon Quest so far, right? This one in particular, originally, like a lot of these, came out on another system. You're not going to see any footage here. I have about half the game recorded, and I threw it in the trash can because I don't care. We did not play the original 95 version for the SNES. It was the DS one from 2011. Kind of thing about that, though. Well, we're going to find out. We're not going to be exactly talking about that DS version. So I hope you're okay with that.
Is that going to be like...
We're still talking about 6, right?
No. Well, I mean, this is the back one. 6 is the last one that came out. We're gonna recap that one. Yeah, we played that. So, oh my, we got 6 games, right? What the fuck's happened in these 6 games? Well, number one, I got you covered, pallies. That's I would say the best, right? Nice and simple. Starts off strong. You can still go back to it. Edric was your ancestor. Princess gets captured. Dragon Lord needs killing. You did it. Great job. Nice and easy, right? No fuss, no muss. Number 2 gets a little bit more interesting, right? It's 100 years later. You're continuing the lineage from the last game. Hey, guess what? You know, your guy, maybe he was into fucking, all right, had a bunch of kids. Oh my. Well, you're going to play as 3 of those descendants down the line to save the world. And wouldn't you know who won the pony? You save the world. Dragon Quest. And remember, boys, at any time, if you have questions, you can submit them on the back channel question link I did send to you. All right. Dragon Quest 3. I hope you like those Briggs-Myers tests, because that's how the game starts. Rubus gives us a quiz, insults us a little bit, and then we get to make a gang with 3 people. Skippy, as you might remember, you were part of that gang.
I was part of the gang.
Yeah, you killed everything. It was beautiful.
Right.
Problem being, after you kill the big bad, it turns out that there was some more game. It turns out there's a little bit of Doctor Who time travel going on. Fuck. We were playing before Dragon Quest 1 even started, and it actually turned out we were Edric, the guy that was the hero from the first one we were trying to live up to.
That's another thing I know about Dragon Quest is these games are very long.
Well, it's really it starts with 2, Thor, that it gets very long, and that's what Skippy and I noticed. I have not yet. I haven't gone to it, and that's why he agreed to. I'm giving you the first and the last. That's all I can promise. There's probably a super cut I need to make eventually of Dragon Quest 2 called Back Through the Horns. Skippy, would you like to explain Back Through the Horns to Thor for me while I take a drink of this rum?
It's literally the only landmark that this dumb motherfucker remembered.
That's how I get around typically. It's like, where's the grocery store and where am I in relation to it? I can totally accept this.
Where's the horns?
Where's the horns? Guess
where
what?
Are we in relation to the horns? Skippo, where are we in relation to the horns?
So then I started sailing.
Yo, I don't see too good, so I missed them.
Can you miss them? They're enormous. Well, hey, you know. All right, so hey, number 4. Sometime after the first 3, we don't really know. This one gets interesting. They try and mix it up a bit. It turns out there's 4 groups of people going through their own things. They converge, and you get the hero or heroine, because much like the 3rd game, you can pick your gender. Pretty cool. You save the world.
That's the start of the Zenithian.
Yeah, good.
Oh, there's arcs.
Good remembering.
So the first 3 games are the story of Edric, the hero, and the fucking dragon nonsense. And then 4 onward, it's all Zenithians who are fucking sky people. They're sky people who are better than us.
They are quite good. They are quite good.
They're just so much more special.
Oh, yes, number 5. So I gotta say, having played through, 7, 8 of these games, we're not getting to 11 yet. I gotta say 5 personal favorites. So you get born, your mom is dead, you go on an adventure with your dad. Whoops, your dad dies. You're illiterate, you can't read, and that's a running gag throughout the game. You get sent into and get out of slavery, which is little dicey in my opinion for a game, but why not? You get to bone, and you get to have not 1 but 2 kids, and it turns out one of your kids is the hero. And hey, Thor, this is why you're here as the internet's only real dad. You're just the dad in that game. It's dad the game. You're the dad.
It's dads upon dads. You have dads, and then you become a dad. This is what the Germans call Bildungsroman.
Yeah. And then there's monsters you can hang out with, right? So like if you wanna just beat the game with monsters, you can do that. Or you could have your kids with you, or your dad's old buddy can join, or you can mix and match, or you can even get your wife back and you could fight as a family. It's like, do you remember Bionic Family? That it's kind of like
Bionic
that.
6 is I think what you're talking about.
Bionic 6, thank you. The Bionic. It's kind of like the Bionic 6. Or Old Man the Game, as I like to think of it. A little bit of that. 6. So you start off, they're trying to start you off here, the old in medias. You go to fight the big guy and you die. You wake up and nobody from that opening montage is there. Nothing makes sense. This is Thor, where it gets to what if these games are long. Just you spend dozens of hours, nothing doing, nothing makes sense. There's parallel worlds and dream worlds, and maybe it's time travel because you've played the other games and you know that they do that. Then just when you start, you think you figured this out. There's just a staircase that takes you between the 2 different worlds. Just a staircase, just hanging out by a bunch of mountains. Just stairs. It's just stairs. It was stairs all along. Yeah. important things. They bring classes into it. You know, Final Fantasy V, if you know that, that's all it is. And once again, you kill an extra dimensional god, right? Standard fare.
And that brings us to the present day, or the relatively present day.
Exactly. We are caught up. So let's talk about 6 for a little bit. I didn't like it, but as I have said and will say, right? It's not a bad game. It's just not a good Dragon Quest game. You know, at that point they had 5 more. 5 is really, really good, and they never quite get it together. If you look into it, there was definitely some behind the scenes production, designing change going on. 6 it really lost me with the dream world, parallel world, staircase thing. And you know, it's not 5. 5 was such a high note, and then you get 6, and I can appreciate they went for something different, but just didn't hit for me. So let's move on from 6. All right, 7. Here we go. So we got a lot of versions. I played and am most familiar with the 3DS one from good old 2016. This was one of them 2000s next gen games. This had 3 dimensions, but more so in the we're just going to rotate around the sprites sort of sense. It wasn't like Final Fantasy VII. Still came out as Warrior originally. I believe it was the last one to come out as Warrior on the old PlayStation. They dumped it to 3DS again first in Japan, then we got it. They also dumped it to iOS and Android in Japan before we got the remade done. And we're just going to talk about the PlayStation version because that's the cheat sheet I had to form all of this information. So if you know anything about the 3DS one, forget it.
That will not be on the exam.
Consider it forgotten.
Okay, well, here's what will be on the exam. You need to place the first 4 Dragon Quest games in chronological order. Please use the link provided to put in your answer.
Oh,
yeah.
You mean in like chronological timeline order?
Yes.
Where the fuck is Forland?
The order that you feel the games go.
Okay.
I'm keeping score. I have a notepad here.
Okay.
All right. So
got an answer from Skips? Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
It's coming. Right. Hold on 1 second.
I'm holding.
I'm pondering.
You can ponder. Yeah, if you would like, Skippy has submitted his answer. So if you would like to ponder with the Peanut Gallery, you are welcome to. Now he doesn't have to tell you the truth, but he'll probably answer.
I get the problem is the first 4.
Yeah.
The first 4 is the problem. Like if
where
we could
the
do
fuck
the first
does 4
3,
go?
Yes,
right?
4
is so easy. But like, what is 4? What even is that? I'm saying that 4 was the last one because then all the Zenithian shit happens afterwards.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am too. But otherwise, or actually, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go 4, 3, 1, 2.
Oh, okay. All right, you son of a bitch.
I'm going to, you know what? Because that way one of us probably has to be right.
Oh, I see. Teacher's pet over here, right? throw your buddy under the bus.
No, it's more that either I am... Actually, I'm just helping the curve out, honestly.
Well, would you like the answer now, or would you like to know the... Okay, we just Skippy wants it now. Skippy, you got it right. It's Dragon Quest 3, Dragon Quest 2, and Dragon Quest 4.
Yeah, suck it, apple polisher.
I mean, you had the 3, 1, 2, right, Thor? Fair enough. Let's throw 4 before it all, but no.
I was just shooting my shot.
Shooting the shot.
Yeah, you had a solid choice, and I respect that. You know what I respect the most of all? Neither of you wrote IDK, I don't know, I need extra help, frowny face. I've gotten all of those and more. And you know when's not the time to write that down? When you're taking a goddamn test in Algebra fucking 2. That's when.
Question 2. Answer E. IDGAF.
All free. All right, let's get to Dragon Quest 7. So hey, we start off on good old Estard Island. This is where we live. It's a island full of humble fisher folk. Shocker of shocks, we got to run a little bit of errands for our pops. Loves him them fish sandwiches. Mom sends us to go do them. Start to meet the crew. We meet our best friend, who's a prince. We're a little, wild boys. We like to, go goof off when nobody's watching. So, we're building a raft because, hey, it turns out apparently Estard Island is the only island on this landmass that's just covered in water. We also get our third party member, Maribel, right off the way because, we're trying to ditch her. She doesn't like that. She's a little bratty and boy crazed, but she's going to be all right. We'll get through. And we got some nice photos of everybody here. So there's the hero. That's us.
We look at that guy. And
look at that. Got a little lizard, some pointy shoes, lots of pointy shoes. Now, I can't tell you if the pointy shoes influenced the, jaggedy PlayStation 1 graphics or vice versa, but hey, it is what it is. Kiefer, that handsome looking man with the sword and the tights and the skirt, that is the prince. Meow. Good old Molly and Burkano are our parents. Hondara down at the bottom right there, that is our uncle, little shady, but maybe he's okay, maybe he's not. King Burns and Princess Lisa are Kiefer's father and sister, respectively. Now, I did not play the PlayStation version. I played the 3DS one, so I can't guarantee you it's in there. But in the 3DS one, the princess has a really... They gave her the lisp. They spell out things interestingly, and you don't really want to talk to her, and thankfully you don't really have to for a lot of stuff. And last but not least is Maribel in the bottom left. That is our third of 3 party members we get right before we even get into, any real battling.
Kiefer looks like a real bitch. He has like a tiny face on a big head, like Juice Robinson. I don't trust that.
Yeah, the 3DS version, if you play it in emulation, because you have a totally legal copy, which I actually do. Yes. If you upscale him, Thor, the face looks even worse. It's amazing. It's very high quality.
I won't be doing that.
He looks like the family tree is a bit of a flat circle here.
When you look down below, I'm sure if Paps shaved, he wouldn't be looking. I think the crown on Father Burns there is what's kind of helping him not look so much like his son Kiefer.
You know what? You might be right. It's the using the old facial hair to make up for any deficiencies in the jawline.
It's a great trick.
Last quick question: is the hero holding a small lizard?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that lizard plays no part in the game. It's just in the art.
That lizard is his lunch.
Sure, why not? Just like in Fury Road, right?
He's like, fantastic. Finally, it's lunch. Can't wait to tuck into this live lizard.
Yummy, yum, yum, yum. All right, so that's Estrad Island, right? Nice and easy.
Dramatis personae.
All right, Rexwood region up next. So shenanigans happen. We end up in a temple, we solve a puzzle, we go through some sort of vortex, and we don't know where the heck we are, but we do meet a lady. Then we find, your typical backwater village. We get a quest and we go prance around in the mine. We see that lady again, but hey, the old Texas switcheroo, that lady was a ghost and we fight her. That's Matilda you see on the slide in the bottom right. Don't worry, though. When we defeat her, her spirit is now at rest, and we get to go home.
Ain't that always the way, right? You meet a nice lady, and then it turns out you were getting catfished by a death knight.
Yeah. I mean, she had, she was wearing a bikini. So,
that's how you know.
What can you do?
Kiefer's got an eye for the ladies. The ladies like Kiefer in this game, apparently. I mean, not just because he's the prince. He's apparently a lot to look at in Dragon Quest VII.
They love that tiny face.
There you go. It's the face. They know, it's like they say, tiny face, big heart, right?
That's what they say now.
Good. All right. So, leaving Rexwood, we go to the Engao region. All right. Hands up if you've seen Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Okay. Just long story short, it's Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom, but minus the overt racism. That's all you need to know about Engao.
All right.
But there are tongue rats found there.
Yeah. There's a tongue rat, there's a sorceroo, there's a forester, a florajay, and a cat mage. But yeah, you go in a fire temple, you got to beat some stuff that's bad, you save a maiden, there you go. It's that.
Did you know it's been renamed to the Choppy Hopper?
Oh,
Choppy Hopper.
Oh. Right. Gotcha. Quite good. Quite good. I'm glad you're reading ahead. I appreciate that.
Well, no, I just want to bring in as much information as possible so that when test comes, I'm overloaded with absolutely useless stuff.
That is
That's all I
good.
can
Now,
think of.
I will say, I'm glad that you are looking up current information. Our budget is a little lacking, so we kind of have the older books. Like we have the ones where there's still an East and a West Berlin. But don't worry, I'm only testing you on what's in these textbooks.
Got it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Sweet.
I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. So Dialac region.
Thank God I know the capital of Yugoslavia.
Yeah, right. It's useful. It's useful. It's raining. The rain turns everybody into stone. We're gonna find a magic MacGuffin, and then we get to go home. It's just fetch quest. I'm gonna blow your minds here, as Thor alluded to early. As much padding as 6 had, 7 had a lot of padding. I believe this was a 2-disc game originally, because that was the style at the time. We have so much more space. We got to do multiple discs, and kind of like how I feel the Clash's discography could really be cut down to one greatest hits album, and be really solid. This game absolutely could have been fine on an NES cart. They don't need all the stuff they have, but they put it in there, and it is pretty looking. Hey, guess what? Quiz 2. What's the name of our creepy uncle? Please answer in chat if you think it is Handala, Handara, or Handela.
I hate these fucking questions. I don't remember.
But
You got a 1 in 3 guess.
That did not stick in my brain.
You know what? You can think, pair, share together to come up with an answer.
I think I remember it, but I don't know. I'm gonna.
What are you gonna say? 2?
Yeah.
I'm feeling
That's
2.
what I'm gonna say.
I'm feeling 2. I'm going for it.
All right, waiting for the official answers to come in. All right, good job, guys. You got it right. I love that theme work. Our creepy uncle is Handara. That's his name.
I was gonna say he doesn't seem that creepy, but actually no, he seems super creepy.
Are you looking at his mustache?
I'm looking at the whole picture.
Yeah. He is always. Now that I've jumped back in, the English localization changed his name to Pike.
Yes, and there's a lot of fish names in the English localization.
And his brother is Pollock or Pollock.
Yeah. I believe it's Pollock. I don't think they're going for the vague racism. They're pretty good in this one of avoiding it.
In this one,
I'm with you that it is Japan, but at least this PlayStation 1 localization for America kind of rounds the edges a bit, which I can appreciate because we've seen some stuff. Let's go to the Orf region. Wolves. All right, there is a double secret reverse curse here. People's turn to animals, animals turns to peoples. Yes, I know that people are animals. Just come with me on this because one wolf gets stuck as a human. He ends up joining our party. There's another wolf with him who is one of his siblings. He just rides on this wolf for the whole game. All right, this is Gabo. He rules, and then we get to go home.
And Rat Boy.
Yeah, precious Rat Boy. We get the opportunity to turn him back to a wolf later on. He's like, no. I want to see where this human thing goes.
I prefer having thumbs.
Let me see how this person thing works out for me.
You ever tried shitting in a toilet? It's amazing.
I mean, if you got a nice enough toilet, why not? Moving on, we're going to Falward region next. All right, so it's kind of like a theme here where we saw the weird version of, Indy and the Temple of Doom. Now we're getting a little Blade Runner-y here. So a nerd falls in love with a robot. Unfortunately, not a nice Sean Young looking robot. We get forced into joining the army. We go fight these robots and then we get to go home. I hope you're sensing the theme here of we discover a new land, we go there, we get just looped into a bunch of garbage, and then we just get to go back home.
This is fucking Sliders.
This is a lot of little bite-sized Dragon Quest. And can we also draw some attention to another monster found in this region is the Cancer Man.
Yes, the Cancer Man. That is a wonderful original translation that I do not believe carried over. But I'm only focusing on the textbook I have here. I will not spend my own money for this fucking job. All right. I don't get paid enough to do that. No, I'm not doing it. I will use the materials they give me, and that's what you're learning with. And if you don't like it, have your parents go right to the superintendent and tell them that your books are not sufficient because I ain't buying you books. I'm not your parents. I don't want to be your parents.
Imagine being the richest nation in the world, and you're still fighting over fucking school lunches and up-to-date textbooks.
I taught an AP calculus at one point, and our textbook was 3 or 4 editions older than the current one. And the administration just really didn't see why, maybe for an AP course, it was a good idea that we had, a book from that decade, let alone, a more recent edition.
All the measurements are still in avoir du poids.
Oh, if only. It's still, it's got notes that Newton's still figuring some things out.
How many furlongs to the hog's head?
I'm gonna win this bet, but I just need more time to, prove that this calculus thing is right. Damn it. So we're going to Verdum next, and it's a little bit like a place we've already been.
Can we get a preview of how many places there are? How many places are there?
There's a lot of places. We can just leave it at that. You don't need to watch your clock. We'll get at it. We'll be done when we're done.
How many places?
You are dismissed when I tell you you're dismissed, not when the bell rings. Because you know what? You're gonna be tested on it no matter what, and I don't care.
Okay, let's keep going.
That's what I got to do at 8 o'clock in the morning for 5 years. Anyways, hey, we're at Verdum region. Remember the whole rain that turns people into statues? There's more of that. We're doing the same thing. It's different, but it's not. We get to fight the jewel bags. I love them. They're stupid little guys. Yeah.
Every part of this fucking game feels like it was written at 4:30 on a Friday.
There you go. Let me write that down. Dragon Warrior.
Yep.
7. It was written at 4:30 on a Friday. There's our title. Great job, Skippy.
Thanks, boss.
That's worth some respect points.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're not worth anything. Just
Who's the fucking teacher's pet now?
Won't help you on the tests. I don't grade on a curve. Because if you want me to explain a curve to you, I will. That won't help you. But anyway, we're leaving this place and we're going to the Deja region. All right, so remember how the ladies like Kiefer? Oh, he gets such a boner here. Kiefer. So, okay, all right. So here's where we do kind of get into they don't call them the word we don't use anymore, but we do meet some vaguely Romany folk. They're at least good on that. We try to resurrect God. Skippy, what do you know about God in the Dragon Quest series?
What does anyone know about God in this fucking thing? Is Rubus a god? Is Rubus a wizard?
You'd think that.
Is Yggdrasil the god?
Rubus isn't in this game, which is why I'm kind of thinking, the more I think about this game, I don't necessarily know that it started off as a Dragon Quest game. I think maybe it was something else that they kind of, slam fucked into the Dragon Quest series.
Right?
Because it wouldn't sell if they didn't.
Yeah, that's kind of my vibe. We haven't done a Dragon Quest in a bit. What do we? We got this game. Throw it in. It's fine. They'll be wowed by the graphics. It's good. Yeah. So we try and resurrect a god that's not Rubus. We don't find it out now. We find out later it's not Rubus. I'll show you a picture of the god when we get to it. You're gonna love it. Kiefer decides he just wants to go just keep plowing, so he's gone, and then we go home without him. Keep in mind, every time we go to a place, we're going to the past, because it turns out that something happened, and we learn here in the past where there was some sort of, god and devil fist fight, and the result was that the world was flooded except for Esterd Island. Yeah, so Kiefer is staying in the past to just really just get hammering, just do some hammering.
Oh, great. A lesson in not changing history from Mr. I'm my own grandpa.
Indeed. And speaking of Mr. I'm my own grandpa, how much starting strength does Prince Kiefer have at level 1? Your choices are 1, 8 strength, 2, 12 strength, or 3, 4 strength. Now, if you remember, this was the slide I showed you after Esterd Island.
Yeah.
I'll let you think pair share if you'd like while I make myself another alcoholic drink, because I can do this since I'm no longer a teacher.
Okay, our choices are, I feel like always choosing the middle option is the best in a question like this when you don't understand the facts.
Now, I will interject. I am a mathematician by trade, and I like numbers that are multiples of one another and have some sort of symmetry. So that might be to mislead you.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so he's our fighter guy, though. right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a prince too.
Mhm.
I don't think it's 4. I think we can. But we don't know the scale though. 4 could be really good.
Yeah, 4. No, 4 is wizard bullshit.
Remember,
8,
it's level 1. It's level 1.
Right. That's another issue.
8 is hero bullshit. I'm thinking 12. He's our bruiser. He's our guy.
Well,
Yeah.
why don't you go for 12 and I'll go for 8, and then at least
All right,
one
let's
of us.
do it. One of us is gonna win.
We're positive it's not 4.
Definitely
All
not 4.
I mean,
I
it could
got-
certainly be 4.
Skippy, you got it. It was 12.
All right.
Your other giveaway, if you notice, 8 is a perfect cube, 4 is a perfect square, 12 is neither. Therefore, that is your giveaway as to how I
That's
chose
not a
to answer.
giveaway.
How is that a fucking
That's not a
giveaway?
giveaway in any sense of the word.
I mean, that's what I used to do to my students to fuck with them.
Oh my god.
I was like, okay, so here's the thing about teaching, boys. You gotta find ways to have fun, whether it's doing stuff like that, making every answer C, or just saying words wrong, but with commitment.
Mhm.
You gotta do something, because you're basically performing the same 40-minute stand-up set like 5 to 7 times a day.
Right. Yeah, no, you're surprisingly right.
If it's not fun for you, it won't be fun for anyone.
I mean, it's more so it needs to be fun for me so I don't paint the walls with my brains. But that's why I left that job.
It's not gonna be fun for them regardless.
Yeah, they don't want to be there. I don't want them to be there. And, fuck it. So, Dharma region. So, role-playing games. What's like a good rule of thumb for role-playing games? If you're having trouble or if you find the enemies are a little too difficult, what's the thing you tend to do?
You go back and grind. You go back and slap a slime 100 times.
You slap that slime.
Not in Dragon Quest VII, because when you get to the Dharma region, you might have accidentally made the game so much harder than it needs to be, right? Before you even discover that, right? So the Temple of Dharma, much like in 3, it's where you can change classes. And this is where we unlock, our class system. It is honestly pretty cool in this.
Wait. We just unlocked the class changes here?
Oh, no, not yet. Not yet. There's still a bunch of stuff we gotta do.
Wait, this is our 9th different continent that we visited, or region that we visited, and we have not unlocked the. Oh my god!
Nope, you're stuck with default. So it's like Final Fantasy VI, where you got that first chunk of the game where you don't got your Magicites, and like there too. If you grind too much, you lose out on being able to really send people to the moon with those stat boostings that the Magicites have, right?
Mm.
You reach the temple and you get old Texas Switch. There's a demon there, and he sends you to a bad place. And you got to run through this whole thing where there's really no save points. If you die, you lose potentially an hour and change of progress. When you finally get through it and you finally get to unlock the class changes, there's your job experience. It's not explicitly stated. It's like the first couple Dragon Quest games on NES where you have to go to a save point to find out how much more you need to get to the next level. And what they also don't tell you, every zone has a level cap. If your level is above that level cap, you can fight an infinite number of battles and your job will not advance. So you could have spent maybe 30 hours at this point playing this game, and you beefed it. So remember, save early, save often. It's an RPG. How do you like that? How do we like that?
I dislike it heavily. This was a thing that this was kind of a prime period for this kind of shenanigans, I think. There were lots of hidden mechanics of like, well, I know we didn't tell you this, but now you know about it.
Yeah, so you can start over and do it perfectly. Because that's what you want to do, not just like have a fun time, right?
I hate it.
Yeah, no, I hate it very much. And I think
sucks ass.
it definitely feels like the entryway, because again, this is 2000, 2001 to your, Brady games, buy the guide with the game, or else, there's going to be some obtuse thing that I guess you're going to hope, your AOL chat room or your Prodigy chat's going to have the answer to, or somebody on Usenet's going to know what to do, because don't like it. Don't like it at all. But we're not stuck in the Dharma region. We go to the Dune region next. And what a surprise, looking at the map with the name Dune region. It's a desert with a sandstorm, and there's some ill chief that we need to save. We get to do all of that. We get to go home. Hey, remember how Dharma had that thing that wasn't fun where, there's a big save gap. There's a boss here, and they don't tell you before you go to fight the boss that you have one of those point of no returns. So if you just kind of go through it, then once again, you can lose a whole lot of progress.
Wait, so if you're underleveled, you can't actually go back and level up some.
Yeah. So if you're yeah, this is the 1-2 punch. If you're underleveled, you're gonna get party wiped by the boss and sent back to wherever you last saved, right? Which is your best case scenario if you're not ready. Because at least then you can grind up some job levels, ideally that you're still underleveled enough that within the region you can gain job points, right? But if you did a bunch of grinding, then you're not able to boost your jobs, so you just have kind of the base stats, which aren't necessarily the best, and you're probably just going to have your lunch eaten.
Wow. So this is the kind of thing that's usually picked up in playtesting, right? Which indicates to me that either playtesters somehow lucked into not fucking up and it just wasn't caught, or just nobody got this far.
Well, also they wanted this. They wanted it to be like, oh, you have to play for 100 hours to finish this game. Think of the value.
The value.
And I go back to my theory that, the advent of the strategy guide games.
Yep, that's probably it, man.
We get 2 right in a row, which is just really screaming to me. We expect that you have purchased the strategy guide. You're going to go back to GameStop and thank the guy for saving a copy because, you messed up. You should have got the guide with the game, kid. What are you thinking?
Fucking imagine.
So that's fun. It's fun. It's fun to have fun. But don't worry, we get to leave the Dune region and go to Kage region. Guess what? Yggdrasil's here. That's all that matters. We go see Yggdrasil, we do the Yggdrasil stuff, and we leave. And, there's a weird guy, as well as an ape bat, and a float tree, and a hanged ape, and a war tiger.
Weird guy. I got a spicy little question here.
Sure.
All right, so you're saying that that we're ripping through time here.
See.
Throughout this. So
correct.
Am I then to understand that this island, these iterations of islands that we're on, are the same island through various points in space and time?
No.
What happens?
What the fuck is this then?
We collect these magical tablets, and when we have enough tablets, we can open up red, blue, green, or yellow islands to go to, and we originally go to the past version of them before the flood. When we do enough quantum leap business there, we can go back to the present, and it now exists in the present, and we can go there again to do more things, which oftentimes ends up being there's another fetch quest, side quest, whatever, where best case scenario, you go back to that place in the past. Sometimes you have to island hop all over.
Gracious.
Ugh, sounds terrible.
Just padding this game out.
I love it. I love RPGs where there's no sense of connection to anything. It's just I am never going to see any of you motherfuckers again.
Oh no! You mistake because they have the Traveler's Island in this one where you can populate it with people. Remember the first place we went to with all of the statue rain? That eventually becomes the island we can recruit people to and send them to, and there's really no reason to do it. Look at the Litterud region. It looks like something you might wave at somebody. And once again, time travel in Dragon Quest, except this time, don't worry. Okay, so we already time traveled, right? Because we went to the past. And now while we're here in the past, we get in a localized time loop. All right?
I hate it when that happens.
Don't think too hard about it, though. As I wrote, we're going to fight the time sage. We're going to beat the time sage. And I just like the name Maki Maki, so I put him in there, too.
Sounds delicious.
And I believe this is the first place we run into the metal slimes in the game. So at this point, hopefully you are just underleveled enough to still gain levels easily from battles in metal. Yeah, it's min-max hell because every battle counts as 1 job point. So actually, if you hit the metal slimes here, my friends, you can screw yourself out of being able to accrue further job points, even because you've, possibly gotten several levels in a fight, but only 1 job point.
I don't.
Vile.
Yeah. Well, the game doesn't take it easy on you, but I'm going to throw you a softball here. We got quiz number 4. Please tell me where the weird guy lives. Is it Dune? Is it Krage? Is it Estard? Look at him. He's got looks like a pull saw, and a lamp so
Yep.
he can see his wood. I think he just likes to woodwork.
He is greasy like a woodworker. I believe I know the answer. I was slightly paying attention. I might have been wrong.
It looks like he's wearing some PPE,
Does it? I
That
mean,
hood,
I get it.
that
those
hood
fucking-
thing,
No, that's a snood.
Yeah.
Okay.
That snood would absolutely get stuck in a table saw and drag. That's how he got the chin cleft.
Ooh.
All right. I'm pretty sure I know this one.
Oh, both of you right. Okay, great job. He does indeed live in Krage.
Krieg.
Krieg. He lives in
Krog.
Krieg with Krieg from Borderlands. It's a mess. Don't ask too many questions.
How's it
all right?
going? I'm the weird guy. I'm just living here in the woods.
You know what? It makes sense now. He has to be a woodworker because Yggdrasil's there. That's a
That's a
big
tree,
tree.
yeah.
There's other trees. Pulsa. Yeah. He just wants to make arts and crafts like you, Skippy.
Look, you know what? It's not fair calling me a weird guy.
Just it's not weird if it's stampeding.
I'm just,
It is weird. I don't know if you've ever been here for Stampede, but it's horrible. Yep. The only words Brett the Hitman Hart ever said to me are, "Who are you?"
Nice.
The Harmelia region. Got a Pied Piper here, which, as you know, kind of calls people around. We're into storytale time. All right. It's feeling very like one of those old black and white Doctor Who's where they like somehow can go into books and they meet fictional characters. Don't ask questions.
This is definitely none of these ideas are good enough for a whole game. The game.
Yeah. That's it. This entire game is just holodeck episodes.
Yeah. Just like they staple gun a bunch of bottle episodes together. Also,
Right.
I'm noticing looking at the map right now, it appears like we've hit the perhaps one connection to an actual Dragon Quest where it looks like Dragon Quest 3, where look, it's North America.
I guess.
I
Like
suppose
we're missing Florida, but I'm feeling very strong North America there.
Like Florida has kind of turned into a backpeen now, I suppose.
Well, that's Baja California.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
Tejas into a truncated South America.
Just like a shriveled vestigial Chile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Newfoundland is finally getting the damn respect it deserves. Look at it up there. Yes, bye.
Really beefy Newfoundland.
Yeah, I like it. They got a mountain tower up there now. Poor boys. Finally got it. All right, so Pied Piper, day-night cycle comes into play finally. He's rocking during the day. At night, everybody's suspiciously gone. And oh gosh, underwater city. So now just time travel isn't enough. Now we get to go underwater.
We're gonna go to Atlantis, boys.
Is there water around each of these regions in general that is?
Yeah, the world is flooded when we start. And basically
Okay.
every time we go to the past and do our quantum leap, we come back, there's another island. None of these are connected. So like that raft I was mentioning that we're building in the beginning, we use that to sail around.
Okay. Sounds comfortable.
Oh God, here we go. Who remembers Army of Darkness?
Oh no.
Who's seen Army of Darkness here?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Who remembers the original, but I guess based on the theatrical released alternate version of Army of Darkness? Tell me what happens.
Well, he fucking Rip Van Winkles himself, man, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
slept too long. Yeah.
And then he wakes up and everything is like terrible.
Yeah. So that's Melvin, the great hero. Except he didn't, get distracted and lose count and double count the drops and add a century on. This was a reward from the god that's not Rubus. The god that's not Rubus was like, Melvin, you're such a solid dude for helping me fight this demon lord. I might need you later. I'm going to take you. I'm going to put you in a magical stone and you're just going to hang out there until we need you again. I don't know if Melvin was this old when he got put in there or if perhaps the seal was imperfect, as Tupperware often is.
Right.
But the great hero is this just broke down hunk of meat, much like myself.
Oh, that looks like the cup of a carpenter.
You're right. Once again, Indiana Jones shows up in this Dragon Quest. Yeah, so we get Melvin. That's it's just fetch quest, get the dude, find the dude. He's the legendary hero. I mean, we get him at level 19. I guess that's where you're supposed to be at this point to not just get annihilated by the leveling issues.
Okay.
Cool. Moving on. go to the Probinia region. We get to settle a religious dispute with fundies about a statue of Not Rubus, and we receive the blessings of Not Rubus.
Sheepbird.
How do we settle this dispute exactly? With violence?
So we're gonna see again in a second the but thou must of the first Dragon Quest, and that kind of pops up in the others. They kind of have it here, and they kind of don't, right? So they present it as though they're gonna but thou must you, and then they just ignore whatever you say, and you got to do the thing anyway. They don't even make you keep cycling through. It's like, whatever. We know this. We know that you know this game. Here's what you're doing. So you can't really get a bad result in any of these because the game needs you to get a good result to keep going.
Yeah, choices don't matter.
Of course. Why are you playing the game otherwise?
Yeah, exactly. We know what you really want. Okay, you're being cute, whatever. I mean, I'll give 3 this if you refuse to go see the king at the beginning and just go off adventuring and all of that. It will change your personality to, I think, like willful or something. So, like, that just completely throws out the Rubus Myers-Briggs thing at the beginning and all of that. All right, Dragon Quest V, bringing it back strong. I love it. We meet Borunga, who reminds me a bit of Bjorn the Behemoth from number 5.
Yep.
We also are going to deal with some evil plants. Okay, we fought plants before. I'm not whatever. Evil dragon. Okay, cool. We fought plenty of dragons in Dragon Quest. What it says on the tin, not the Dragon Lord. Don't worry, guys. It's just an evil dragon.
Yeah, not every dragon has to be a lord. Come on.
No. But, probability, while very difficult, does dictate that it could be a Dragon Lord, but it's not.
And if all dragons were lords, then the whole feudal system would collapse. There would be no serfs.
Yeah, it's got to be a delicate balance of, abuse and exploitation, I guess. I know where Thor stands on things. And,
of course.
I don't know how I feel about that.
As a landsman.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm about to be landed gentry again myself. Well, actually, I am. I have been for a couple months now. I guess. You know what? Scratch it. I'm with Thor. Let's exploit everybody. And speaking of exploitation, I got a quiz for you.
All right.
Hey, everybody. What did God seal the great hero Melvin in as a thanks for his help?
You're taking the easy ones.
A magical stone, a magical cocoon, or a magical coffin? There is no think, pair, share for this. All right, let's see what we got here. Hey, we both got it. Beautiful. All right. Proud of you for listening. We're blazing through this. We're paying attention. We're learning things. Let's go to the Madra region. No, so Mardra is a region. Madra was the mom in Dragon Quest V. Again, Mardra is a land. It's not. I think this was purely coincidental. I do not think this was on purpose. There's a magical research facility. It's basically Final Fantasy VI with the Magitech facility. We meet the King Slime finally.
Hey,
our big friend.
Our boss is again an evil plant, the Hellvine. Hellvine's doing whatever. It doesn't matter.
I don't like that. Why is he so vascular?
Yeah, it looks like he's got a big tongue, but like I don't know. Is it Audrey 2? Who can say?
Big something. I don't know, man. What the fuck? Yeah.
Let's leave this terrible place and go to the Leafa region. All right, so we're going to start setting up what I think is the future Dragon Quest games because we meet a bunch of nerds who can only fly when it's just right. So now if you've seen Mystery Men, and if you haven't, go watch Mystery Men.
That's a deep fucking cut. Nobody watched that movie.
Oh, but it was such a good movie. So these we can fly when it's just right remind me a lot of Kel the Invisible Boy, with like, I'm invisible when nobody's looking at me. I think it's kind of like maybe a bit of a Brave New Worldy situation or maybe a Wall-E situation where they just kind of forgot how to walk. We find a temple that it's suspiciously very similar to a temple that we have seen repeating in 4, 5, and 6.
Okay.
Yeah, if you've seen any of the artwork for Dragon Quest's past 8, these angel folk suspiciously seem a bit similar to stuff popping up there. So again, while we all kind of are agreeing that this doesn't feel like it started off as a Dragon Quest game, it definitely feels like it was grabbing little bits here and there as no, it's really a Dragon Quest, and then somehow it's also influencing the future ones. So that's weird.
But do you think that this was on purpose at this point? I mean, I'm sure it was retroactively on purpose when they did the next games. But do you think that this was intentional at this point? I don't.
No, not at all. Like I've played the first 30 minutes of 8 as just kind of a tech test. I feel like I'm going to see very little Dragon Quest 7 in 8. Who's to say what that video is going to look like?
I'm not to say. I don't say.
I'll get to it eventually, but you know what I'm going to get to now? I'm going to get to the Labyrinth region. So, okay, remember I was telling you about choices that don't seem to matter? Here we get one with a monster that's dressed up like a priest. The townspeople, they find out that this priest is really a monster. They want you to do a murder. And we get, as I said, a but thou must that doesn't loop. We just get the same result, whether we say, yes, we must murder him, or no, let him go. So we screw around, we keep on going, we go back to the present, and then this island shows up in the present.
Right. What's a piggity?
I'm assuming some sort of pig.
Or maybe a pig lady.
I always read it as pig lady, so I'm with you there, Skippy.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Hey, speaking of pig ladies, I got a quiz for you. What monster is this from Labyrinth, the slide we were just talking about? Is it Flamzar? Is it a berserker? Is it a devilite?
How are we to fucking know?
Yeah, this was not.
This was not in the text.
This was not covered. This was not in the material. Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, though, it's a berserker.
Yeah, I think so too.
Let's wait to see.
Yeah.
Berserker.
I say it's a.
Same berserker.
100%
Yeah.
berserker.
Berserker boys?
Yeah,
Definitely
Berserker boys.
berserker.
Well, if I go back, I'm sorry that you weren't paying attention. The very first monster in the list is indeed a berserker.
Yeah.
I mean, you think Pear Share has not been outlawed. You're allowed to use it. And,
Right.
I'm glad you both got a point.
But how do we know that's
Wait,
not a
we didn't,
Flamzar?
that didn't
Or a
that didn't
Devilite.
help. Yeah.
That could be a devilite. He looks devilish.
Does he?
Yeah, he looks a
he?
bit like
Yeah.
a flame lizard.
When have you ever seen a devil or a flamzard swinging around a hatchet?
devil.
He looks like a flame lizard.
Swinging a hatchet.
Oh, really? Have you never seen fucking demons from fucking Indian mythology there? Does that guy not look like a little bit of a Rakshasa? Huh?
I guess you got a point.
You know?
I guess you
Possible.
got a point. Let's as a class write a sternly worded letter to Akira Toriyama about his depictions of creatures. And we'll see if we get a response, for extra credit. So, that's for, at home.
Anime was a mistake.
We're going to talk about the coastal region. And guess what? There's
It's an island. It's all fucking coastal.
Mm-hmm. It is. Everything is an island. Everything's coastal. I'm glad that you know what words mean, because the people that made this game, Skippy, I don't think that they did.
I'm gonna shit. That's it. I'm gonna shit. I'm gonna get so mad. I'm just gonna shit right here in class. I'm gonna lift up the lid of my adorable little school desk and just shit in it.
I'm sure it's been done.
Yeah. Thankfully, I didn't have that. I did have somebody flip a desk and storm out of the room saying, I am the only motherfucker that gives a fuck about learning this fucking shit. Desk flip. I'm fucking out.
You should have just thrown a bale of insulation at him.
So anyway, the coastal region, we got a cursed city. We have a whole bunch of fetch questy. We have a lighthouse to rekindle. This all feels like stuff we've done before in RPGs in general and Dragon Quest in particular.
Yeah.
We fight Gamandius, who does show up again in later Dragon Quests, perhaps with a different name, but certainly in that form. And there you go. I don't know what you want from me. We're out of this terrible
Jesus
coastal
Christ.
region. Yeah.
Shakespearean frogman.
Can I have like a hint or a clue as to how many more regions there are? Because there have been so many regions.
There's less than 7.
So there are 6 more regions.
There's less than 7. 6 is less than 7. 5's less than 7. 4 also less than 7. 3, believe it or not, less than 7. 2 also is less than 7. 1 indeed is less than 7.
Yeah,
0.
You're a hell of a math teacher.
0, a number that the Arabic nations had to discover because the Europeans are stupid, is indeed less than 7. That said, we do have another region. Well, not really a region, more of a concept, all right? So you didn't ask me about concepts, Thor. That might be your undoing. We need to confront the demon lord. If you've been paying attention, I told you that God, which is not Rubus, fought the demon lord. It didn't end so well. Melvin was sent into his magical cocoon, and the world was flooded. So we can go everywhere at this point. We've got all our MacGuffins. Everything's open. Side quests galore. Oh man, get crazy. Do things. Whatever you want. What we really need to do is find the Demon Lord base. Turns out the Demon Lord's name is Orgoldmir. And he's got 2 forms. What a surprise. A boss in a Dragon Quest has 2 forms. I mean, we started off that way with the Dragon Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You guarantee if you don't have at least 2 forms, assume that this is not the boss.
Wait, so who's Belly Maurer then on this thing? That's
Well,
typically
it's a
the
mini
square-
boss that we have to fight. Guess what?
Okay.
Yeah. You're going into his base, and unlike the earliest games, and more like the latter ones, yeah, you get some mid bosses on your way to the final boss that has multiple
two had
forms.
mid bosses though, man.
So I guess you should expect it.
Yeah,
That's
of
on
course.
you. That's on you.
Yeah.
Just mid bosses.
What are you even doing? Play the game.
Maybe don't
No,
play this.
I won't be doing
Don't
that.
play. Yeah, I don't think play this game. Don't play this game. Don't play this game. All right. So hey, we're gonna revive God, because you can't truly defeat the devil without God in your side. Am I right, ladies? Remember when Kiefer got a boner way back when, and he wanted to hang out with those people who were vaguely Romany? All right. We did try with singing and dancing to bring Not Rubus back to life, and now we're gonna do it again because we think we can really nail it this time. Problem being that those people don't exist anymore. Right? We're in the present. And if we go into the past, for some reason, we can't just pluck one of them and bring them to the present. That would be too easy. Right? And I guess we would destroy whatever Kiefer is doing, which is the old nasty in the pasty and making a weird future daughter. This is the last character we get. She starts at level 21, which is not that much higher than the legendary warrior Melvin was. So I don't know what level they expect you to be at endgame. This is where your characters are at. She's Kiefer plus, I suppose. Cool.
Nice. We're on a mission from God.
So wait, future how far in the past are we moving when we go back to the past?
We don't know. Before whatever happened with, Not Rubus and the Demon Lord getting into a fist fight and the world getting flooded as a result.
Okay. So a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay. Not like 15 minutes.
No. Yeah. No. That'd be funny, but no.
You know what would be really good is if the amount of time you went back was the length of time you'd spent playing the game up until that point.
Oh, that feels very Star Ocean to me, and that's a series I'm not going to touch with a 40-foot pole.
Whoa.
But you know what I am going to touch? Another quiz. So, what tribe of musical magicians died? Oh no, a typo. Ah, geez, I just haven't been.
The question
I didn't
is
review my
invalid.
slides. No, it's. And you know what? Kiefer did die in the past, so technically my question is still correct. So what did he join because he was hot for teacher? Was it the Deja people, the Dara people, or the Daja people?
It was like the previous slide, was it not?
It was there. It was also way back when. So I hit you twice. So really, if both of you don't get this correct, I will be very disappointed.
I can't not answer a question correctly. It is my greatest failing. Why am I not sandbagging these? I just love being correct.
Nothing better.
I just love it. I just love it.
And as Thor has pointed out, it is the Deja people because it is both the past and he has deja vu for some dead boobs. Parentheses, lowercase o, parentheses, parentheses, lowercase o, parentheses. I don't know what that means, Thor. Talk to me after class if that's part of your answer. But
holy. Maybe I'm just seeing what I want to see, but those things are on the attack.
Yeah, of course.
It's some silver dollars for sure.
My manicure around.
Well, no, if they were Akira Toriyama boobs, just hang on a second. I'm just sitting here doing some art.
Yeah, do some art. Oh, I think we've all seen
if
the
they
fan
were
art.
If they were Akira Toriyama, they'd be like that.
Hello. So for those who cannot see the back
Nope,
chat,
don't tell them. That is not for them.
It's not for them. Okay. You know what? We can have a thing that's just our class. The other classes
sound
don't
off
need
in the
to know
comments what you think I drew.
Hey, let's get a fan art. What does Skippy Granola do in chat? What did he do?
Yeah.
Speaking of doing things, passage of time. All right, so guess what? We did something. Apparently we won. It's over. We summoned God. Things happened. All right, so we go back to our island Estard, where, as you may remember, I did say everybody's really into fishing. So much like Paps, we become the fisherman. We love them fish Sammies, just like Daddy does. Fake out. It's Dragon Quest. There's a brand new temple. We're gonna go there, and they do the thing. So our party disbanded. And, we got to get the band back together. That's a good trope, except when you play as them, they're equipped with whatever you had them with, and they're leveled however you had them level. You're limited to 3 people per party, and you have 5 party members. So there's sections where you're playing solo as characters that maybe you decided you didn't want to use at all, and you might get party wiped. Now you do have access to, you know, the bag that just they put in by this point, where just everybody can store all the extra stuff, because Dragon Quest still refuses to just do communal inventory. Everybody has their limited slots. They've at least expanded it as the games go on, but like it's still limited. So they have whatever was on them when you last used them, and they have access to the big bag. And you know, if you kind of know what's going on, you can work your way around it, but yeah, you might end up screwed. So remember, save early, save often. They got us yet again. You know, we're probably at least another 10, 15, maybe even 30 hours past the last time they pulled this move on us. And now we're like at the end game. We're like doing a pull up onto the window to do this second story job, right? And they're just slamming it down on our fingers. And Thor is correct. I see this note you have passed. Puff puff, or pafu pafu, is a Japanese term for the placing of a person's face between a woman's breasts. Often, but not always, for sexual pleasure. The term puff puff comes to the Japanese onomatopoeia for a woman rubbing her breast in someone's face. The term can also be used for a woman juggling her own breasts. Very nice. Thank you, Thor, for that, you know,
You're
fact.
welcome.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Will this
Moving
be on
on.
the test?
Moving on. We're going to awaken the wind and terra spirits, because it turns out that God, who is not Rubus, is a big old weirdo. And wouldn't you know it, how fortuitous you sent me that Puff Puff piece in a game that's, you know, Akira Toriyama heavily influenced. You know, there's an important, powerful man that's a big weirdo. So let's go fix this God with our fists.
Yeah. What?
I hate awakening spirits.
Check out the cod piece on the flame spirit. Look at that. Awooga. He's going to give Kiefer a run for his money.
Jeez, those are some wrestle pants.
I mean, that is, and Thor will get this. That's some Global Wrestling Federation, Stephen Dane and Chaz wrestling pants.
Oh no. Those poor boys.
They just, you know, wanted to put the banana on parade. What? What? Here's what we're gonna do.
You look at it, you celebrate your body.
We're ending the Demon Lord. This is it. All right. So last time we didn't really kill him. Surprise, surprise. Those 2 forms, that wasn't it. All right. So here was the problem. We went to the we went to the Demon Lord Palace to kill him. That's not his home. He lives in the Dark Palace.
Well, he's like Saddam Hussein. He has a bunch of different.
There you go. And Thor, that is a really good connection that you made, because much like Saddam Hussein, who had, you know, notably many doubles, he now has 4 forms. So those 2 before were just, you know, dummies. This is the real deal. We're going to fight him 4 times.
The idea of the U.S. Army having to kill 3 other Saddam Husseins before they get to the real one, I think that'd be a good gimmick.
And so, yeah, we fight him 4 times, and that's it. So, quiz 7. Who are these guys?
Ew.
Please in chat, say left and your answer, and right and your answer.
Okay. I'm gonna wing it. I'm gonna guess.
It's 1 point for each. Okay, I'm nice. I'm not doing half C's. All right, I'm not gonna do all or nothing. If you get 1 right, you get 1 point. You get 2 right, you get 2 points. All right. I am nothing if not fair.
Gross.
Now, Skippy, you really can try harder than that.
How fucking dare you?
So let's see. And Skips, you know, I'll give you a chance. I know it's been a long day. We're almost out of here.
Okay.
What do we got?
All right. I'm gonna.
Skippy, interesting answer. Waiting for Thor.
Yes, I have submitted my answer.
Well, Skippy, 1 point. They are not both the Demon Lord. Thor, full marks. Left is the Demon Lord. Right is God. Heartbreaker, but I gotta say, Skippy Granola, you win with 1 point above Thor.
Imagine.
7 to 8.
Imagine.
We could have tied. We could have had a perfect Japanese baseball game.
Thor, you bring up a good question. Skippy did answer first with, let me check here. Your 2 dads. Your 2 dads. So Thor,
to be fair, if we merge these 2 avatars, we could probably get pretty close to your dad with a little Photoshop.
Maybe, but I want to throw it to you though. Now, normally I wouldn't do this as you are in the class, but you are the only real dad on the internet. Am I right?
It's true. The one true dad.
The one true dad. So as the one true dad, do you feel that I should take Skippy's first answer and we just end this, you know, as a push? It's a tie.
Like a soccer game.
I don't believe that's right. He earned his win fair and square.
We'll call it the Coupa Mondial. Unless there's money involved. Is there money involved?
There's no money.
Fuck it then. Who gives a fuck?
You know what was involved? My sanity, and the both of you saved it.
Look at that.
And I almost hit my time period. I said we'd knock this out in an hour. We're, at about an hour 15. The old man still got it. He can figure how long it's going to take him to talk over a slideshow, taking into account, a peanut gallery of knuckleheads.
And now nobody ever needs to play DQ7 again.
As Thor repeatedly asked, and you kind of hit the nail on the head as to why we did this slideshow instead of playing the game. I don't think I could have possibly edited this thing down to like less than 20 videos.
It's quite long. Because I'm a glutton for punishment, I'm looking at the page for God on the Dragon Quest wiki. And it says you can fight him at the end of a bonus dungeon, but there's a section at the end titled "Related Monsters." And do you know who the related monster for God is?
I don't, because it's been like 4 weeks since I made this slide set.
Santa.